back on the Morning Brew with friends. We got Colin McRobertson from Bernco County, and you brought a friend. You brought Janet.
I did, yes. Janet, who's a master naturalist with our program, but she also went through the Landscape for Life backyard farming series last year. So
very cool.
She's come to testify about how she's used that in her own landscape.
Great, and this is one
you
of my
don't
favorite.
have to take my word for it.
This is one of my favorite times of the week because I get to say this is Bernco on the Brew. There we go. I love our graphic.
Very cool.
Right? And you guys get to have these cool backyard, basically teaching everybody how to be a backyard gardener, right?
Correct. Yep, that is the idea.
I am not one. Could you make me one? Is it like an overnight transition? Can I just kind of like show up and learn? Because there's a bunch of classes coming up, right?
Yeah, so this program in particular that we do in the spring, this is the second year we've done the Landscape for Life, which is a national curriculum, really could turn you into a backyard farmer, yes.
That's cool.
And the idea is that each class builds on itself, where you learn how to assess your own property, you learn about soil, water harvesting, plant selection. Each class continues to give you another big piece of the puzzle till at the very end you really do know what you're doing and you have a plan to implement.
That's cool. When you say assess your property, does that mean we were talking a minute ago about making a little map of your backyard and everything? So how does that work? Do I just kind of walk outside and pace it off and figure it all out, or how do you guys help somebody do a map?
A number of people in our class, the class I took last spring, actually had blueprints, but I just did a sketch of all the buildings on our property, our home and shed and garage, and then mapped in the low spots where water was collecting, knew which way the wind was blowing, and set up little microclimates within our yard. So we garden, and we also have a yard, and we've cleared property of trees that were a fire hazard, and so we've done a lot.
Cool. So as a backyard farmer, then, do you grow your own food?
Yes.
What do you grow?
I grow tomatoes and turnips and beets and zucchini.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. And so what are you going to grow this year? That was last year, I'm assuming.
Yes,
same
I'm
kind
going
of
to
crops this year?
rotate crops because I've always done the same things. And this year I found out you can prevent disease if you rotate your crops.
Right.
So
it keeps the soil healthy too, right?
Yes, it does. It's all about saving the water, the rainwater, and last year we had a lot of rainwater.
Right.
So we have rain barrels, we catch it off of our metal roof, and it's just about preserving the earth and sustaining your yard and garden.
That's very cool. Do you farm in your backyard?
I do, and the neat thing again about this class is that Janet lives up in the East Mountains. We hold the training down in the South Valley at the Gutierrez Hubble House.
Right.
I live in the middle of town, not far from Carlisle, Candelaria area.
Okay, yeah.
And, you know, those are all three very, very different places.
Right.
And so to have somebody come in and give you you know, some suggestions that would apply to all three different places is very challenging to do. That's why you learning your own property and learning how to apply basic principles to your landscape and you know, instead of maybe paying a landscape artist to come in, I mean, you may want to do that when you're really stumped, but you know, to really be able to better understand your own place through observation and assessment, and then really thinking about how to apply water harvesting principles, building your soil, that can all be very particular to your environment, to your little microhabitat.
Yeah.
So,
well, I live downtown.
cool.
It's probably entirely different than the East Mountains.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Different soil type, different temperatures, all sorts of things that will affect the length of time that you can grow and the types of plants you may want to select.
Right, absolutely.
And a lot of people will grow in pots too, you know, if they don't have the yard. So you can grow it even in town.
So before we forget, I want to talk about the Sunday Fun program.
Oh, fabulous.
And there's a big one coming up this Sunday from 12 to 5 at the Bikeki Open Space, right?
Yeah, the Sunday fun programs are family fun days. Are every Sunday now throughout the rest of the year.
Oh, cool.
We have these amazing educators from Cottonwood Gulch that it's from 12 to 5 on Sundays. And anybody who wants to go check out the building, we have an art exhibit there, you can do that. But you can check out nature packs. And the educators there will have these
What's a nature pack?
Nature packs are theme-based little backpacks for kids that are chock full of ways to investigate nature, whether it's birding or tracking or looking at bugs. You'll have bug guides, for example, bug catchers, all sorts of things for investigating that particular topic that you choose. And
I need to just take one of those to my office just to see what's around.
right, yeah.
See what's growing in the garbage or whatever.
Might see more like cockroaches instead of fun other deals.
Right.
Anyways, and then the hands-on learning stations are managed by the Cottonwood Gulch staff there, the educators, and they have microscopes to further investigate what you found outside or other theme-based activities. So it's a really fun thing to do with your family.
That sounds
It's
fun.
not a set time. You can just kind of come and go as you please. And
Show up, grab a backpack, go for a hike, and do your thing. That's
Yeah.
cool. So do you guys know what this kind of warm weather, it's supposed to be 75 degrees today. Does that mess up all of your plans for your garden, or is this something that it just makes it easier to work outside?
I did notice that some of my plants are budding. I have
Already?
lilacs that are budding and fruit trees, yes.
So that we know we're going to get another hard freeze. So
Sure.
what do you do to protect it?
there's a
Or
couple
is this the
things
kind of
you
stuff
can
you
do
get
for
to,
trees.
or is this the kind of stuff you get to learn in the class?
Well, you could definitely learn that in the class, but a couple things that you could do. You could right now apply if you are going to put some seed in the ground. You can also cover it with hay or straw. Actually, not hay that has the seed, but put some straw over it. That will help it a little bit. If you know you're going to have a really hard frost that night, it's actually advisable to water your trees, and that actually will help it from freezing. You can also cover them depending on like what they are. Like, let's say I have a pomegranate bush, for example. I could put wire around and then stick hay in it. That will help to insulate it a little bit while it's at this limbo period.
Ah, very cool. Well, and I love that you know the difference between hay and straw. Not many people do.
Yeah.
Not many of us city dwellers do.
Hay has the seeds in it. Straw
Right.
does not.
We'll be back in just a couple of seconds in the Morning Brew. Linda Morgan Davis is here from the Albuquerque-Bradley County Library System. She's talking about bringing books to the big screen. It should be fun.
I think I'm going to check it out this weekend.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Before or
cute.
after you go to the Family Fun Day?
That'll be it. Fun-filled weekend.
On the Morning Brew with Friends.
Thank you.